Today, we're gonna talk about what I eat on Thanksgiving. Hey, what's up? It's Vince Leah from VinceLeah.com, and today we're gonna be talking about what I eat on Thanksgiving Day. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are gonna be doing videos, posting about the food they already ate, but I wanted to post something here real quick before Thanksgiving started, just to give you an idea of what I'm gonna be eating on Thanksgiving Day. Now, I know being vegan on Thanksgiving can be a little challenging, especially since the centerpiece of the whole meal is a turkey. Growing up, I had a traditional Thanksgiving dinner with the family and the turkey and the stuffing and all the desserts. And then once I was diagnosed with colitis, I actually didn't really enjoy Thanksgiving. I didn't enjoy eating a lot of that food. I didn't know why, but a lot of it wasn't making me feel very good. So then I really didn't eat much. And it wasn't until after I went vegan and I started feeling better that I really enjoyed food again. And when I thought about Thanksgiving, I was like, I need to enjoy the food on Thanksgiving, but I had no idea what to make for a vegan Thanksgiving. So you could go to the store and you can find a lot of Thanksgiving Day vegan options. But for some reason on Thanksgiving, I always enjoyed eating a homemade meal. So I really wanted to do that on Thanksgiving now that I was vegan. And it's especially true last year when we actually hosted Thanksgiving here. And it started off by, okay, if we're gonna invite these family members, and we have to invite these family members, and then we're like, okay, so we're gonna have maybe about 20 or so people at the house. It was gonna be a lot of people in the house and a lot of food, but we thought we could make it work. And then it grew into, well, these friends didn't have anywhere to go, so we invited them, and then we'd get a call saying, well, my cousin's in town and they have nowhere to go, and his girlfriend's with him, can they come over too? And you're not gonna say no on Thanksgiving. So we ended up having about 30 people over, and most of the people that were here weren't vegan. And everything we made was vegan. We didn't make everything, we made the main course, we made all the sides, we had some appetizers, we had some cheeses that we bought here locally, we had Miyoko's cheese, we had Yvonne's cheese, and everybody was blown away about how good the food was. And nobody was complaining, where's the turkey or where's this? And not only that, there were no leftovers. And I really enjoy having Thanksgiving Day leftovers for a few days afterwards, but I didn't get to experience that last year, but it was pretty cool because everybody enjoyed all the food that we made. And it was great sharing that with everybody as they were experiencing a vegan Thanksgiving for the first time. And I think some people had no idea what they were getting themselves into, but at the end of the day, everybody loved it. So some of the food that we made last year, we're actually gonna be making again. Now, we're not hosting Thanksgiving this year, maybe next year, but I wanted to share some of the food that we're gonna be making. Now, I've tried to vlog on Thanksgiving, but to me, it was kind of strange. I planned on doing it last year when we were hosting Thanksgiving, but when you're with close friends and family and even strangers that just show up because they have nowhere to go, I just always felt weird trying to vlog, especially, well, I couldn't vlog when I was cooking, and then I was just in the moment enjoying the atmosphere and then enjoying spending time. I didn't want to take this camera out and ruin that. So I thought I'd do this video now, kind of talking about some of the food, and I may do some stories on Instagram if it feels right, or maybe talk about what we're making, because we're gonna be making some dishes and actually bringing it over to a family member this year. And some of the foods that we're gonna be making, I wanted to discuss right now. And there's actually a company in LA called Spork Foods. Now, it's two sisters, Jenny and Heather, and they actually have cooking classes. Now, Spork Foods is actually a vegan cooking class. So you're gonna be making different vegan foods. They have different options, different classes. They have like a Mexican themed night, they'll have a sushi themed night. And the first time I went there, I can't remember what the theme was, but I wasn't vegan at the time. I think I was still eating fish. And then I enjoyed it so much, and then once my transition to going vegan was complete, then I was like, what am I gonna do for the holidays? Now, they have a vegan Thanksgiving class, which I took, and some of these recipes have become staple of Thanksgiving in my house. So I wanted to share these with you and talk about what I'm going to eat on Thanksgiving. So right now, the plan for me on Thanksgiving Day is to wake up, do a workout, and then have a smoothie, which is my normal routine anyway. Now, if you've seen any of my other What I Eat in a Day videos, you know I always start my day off with a smoothie. I'll go ahead and link those below so you can check those out as well. So we're gonna be having Thanksgiving dinner. So for lunch, I most likely will be having like a hearty salad. probably make maybe some soup, maybe some sushi, something not too crazy, but enough to hold me over. I'm not worried about saving room for Thanksgiving. Since I don't want to overeat, I just want to treat it as a normal meal and have like just a bunch of different samples. So I've overeaten before Thanksgiving. It's okay while you're doing it, but afterwards it doesn't work well for me. So I just treat it as a normal meal with just a lot of different options that you really only get during this time of year. Now, after you take the class at Spork Foods, they let you keep the recipe. And as you can see, this piece of paper it's been through a few Thanksgivings. Now, one of the things we always make is a pastry wrapped tofu turkey. This isn't like a tofu turkey thing that you may have seen images from that looks like a turkey, but it's made out of tofu. It's nothing like that. It's a pastry wrapped tofu. So what you do is you take some tofu. We use extra firm, but you want to dry it out and press it. And then you just want to crumble it up basically into a bowl. And then you're going to add all the ingredients and spices to really turn this tofu into the Thanksgiving flavors that you're used to. So in there, we're going to be adding onions and carrots and celery, and then you add some breadcrumbs, you add some sea salt, some Dijon mustard, some sage, rosemary, oregano, just all those Thanksgiving Day spices, and then you mix it all together. So then you take a pastry wrap, and in the middle of it, you place all this Thanksgiving flavored tofu inside, and then you just wrap it up and you fold it, you put a little maple syrup on top, and you bake it in the oven. And it's really good. I was amazed the first time I had it, how much I really enjoyed it, how much it reminded me of Thanksgiving. It's a roast, you're making it yourself. It doesn't look all weird, it actually looks really cool, it looks pretty awesome. Most people are amazed, and they actually have that over turkey, because it actually tastes better because you have all those different flavors. For turkey, when I used to cook turkey, you'd season the top, but the meat was just the meat. There wasn't any flavor to it. But with this, you actually get flavor when you cut the loaf and you're eating all that Thanksgiving flavored tofu in the middle. It's actually really good. So that's something that we always make. And something else we always make that we learned at this Spork Foods class is a spinach and sausage stuffing. Same thing, you just take, it's made with some sourdough bread, you have onions and garlic and carrots and celery, and then they use an apple sage style sausage. I know Field Roast makes one. You can probably use different flavors if you want to change it up, but you just mix everything together. The spinach, obviously, when you cook it, wilts down, and you just mix it up, and it's an amazing stuffing that pairs really well with that tofu roast that we made. And so those are the two recipes that every Thanksgiving for the past few years have always been on the table, and I can't imagine a Thanksgiving without them. So I also have some sides. We do some mashed potatoes. Now, a couple of my favorite mashed potato recipes, the Vegan 8 has one. She has this awesome like thyme Cabernet sauce that goes on them. Now, I'll actually put the sauce sometimes on that baked tofu pastry wrap because it tastes really good. And also the Sexy Vegan has a pretty awesome recipe for what he calls the last vegan mashed potato recipe that you'll ever need, or the perfect vegan mashed potato. I can't remember the exact name, but I did a video with him, which I'll link below if you want to check out that recipe, because those mashed potatoes are pretty good as well. And for dessert, you know, I always grew up on pumpkin bread, and that was something I really enjoyed. Pumpkin pie was good, but pumpkin bread, like this fresh pumpkin bread, was just something I always looked forward to. And the Vegan 8, and I think she has a YouTube channel, which I'll link below, but she has a recipe for a vegan pumpkin bread that tastes like, it's the closest thing I've ever tasted to the pumpkin bread that I grew up with. Now granted, the pumpkin bread I grew up with had a lot of sugar in there, which most traditional holiday desserts are gonna have a lot of sugar. Now this pumpkin bread isn't as sweet, which is perfect for me, because I think now that pumpkin bread that I used to have as a kid, it would just be too sweet for me. It's an amazing recipe, really easy to make, and it's the closest thing that I remember to homemade pumpkin bread. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna be eating on Thanksgiving. Let me know in the comments what you're gonna be having, and maybe we can help somebody else who's just having their first vegan Thanksgiving figure out what they're gonna be having. So as always, like the video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel, and remember to keep living fit from food. And I'll talk to you soon, and happy Thanksgiving. Bye.